Welcome to the open house for the WiC Microsoft Cloud Accelerator for the 5.0 cohort. My name is Raisa Noel. I'm the Global Events Program Lead, and I'd like to welcome to the stage with me today Chaitra Vidulapalli. She's the president and co-founder of Women in Cloud, and as she comes up, I'll bring up the slides. Chaitra, welcome.
Hi, welcome. Excited to see all of them here. This is like our crowd, our jam.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, it's a good quality people. All right, so I'm going to bring up the slides just to get us started.
Sure. So I had a very good discussion at my table. So as part of the conversation, I want all of you to really take time to just say hello and where are you joining us from? Just go learn how to use the chat. Say hello. There you go. It's going. Toronto. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Nancy.
A lot of people have been telling me it's pretty cold where they are. I, as you can see, have a glow of sweat. I'm joining from the Bahamas.
Yeah, I'm jealous, really jealous, Raisa. Like I have like heaters everywhere. So, and all of us are probably suffering with cold right now. So yeah, fantastic. So what we want to really talk about today is about the program which is the Cloud Accelerator, but also give you context of why we are doing it. And there are a few things that you all need to make decisions. So I want you to really take a moment and tell me what decision you want to make so that we can give you enough information so that allows you to make a decision. The decision can be, yes, I want to move forward. Decision is no, I'm not ready. Decision is like, I'm confused and I want to talk to somebody. We do have Martha Montoya, so I will bring her on the stage. She has gone through the accelerator when the time is ready, and she can answer some of the questions. So you can ask from the cohort member, just not listen to me. So with that, welcome everyone. So take a moment. What decision do you want to make today? And a little bit about me. I run two companies. One, I'm the co-founder and CMO of Mela Corporation. We actually do is ignite economic access through digital transformation. We work heavily in the enterprise market. And that was the precipice of creating the second one, which is the Women in Cloud, because access to funding, access to tech, and access to co-sell opportunity in the enterprise was very hard. So that drove us to build the Women in Cloud to create is $1 billion in economic access. From my superpower perspective, I'm very strong in product management. So I'm constantly building cloud technologies, love public-private partnership, and also really building strategic partnerships in the channel. So if you ever ask me how to think about co-sell opportunity, I can talk about that. I'm very strong at digital transformation of programs within the enterprise market. That's where I originated, worked at Oracle and Microsoft. So if you could live anywhere in the world for a year, where would it be? That's an icebreaker question. Go ahead and take a moment and put it in the chat. Raisa, if you could live anywhere in the world for a year, where would it be? For me, it would be Bahamas. Really, seriously, I would want to be there. Florence, what about you?
I would say, I would say somewhere in Canada. I really like Canada. Italy. Italy is an amazing one. Yeah.
Yes,
I agree with Yasmin. Yes, Italy is definitely, I change it. Canada, Italy.
So, Martha, we have Hawaii and Bahamas are my two areas. So whenever you are going to Bahamas, Martha, let me know. I'll show up there too. Yeah. And we'll have Raisa, we'll ship her to Canada that time. Anyway, this one was fantastic. So thank you for engaging in a friendly conversation. A couple of things that we want to really talk about is really the Cloud Accelerator. What does it mean? It's a 6-month immersive experience. It is immersive, and this is not like a traditional accelerator. You can just go and learn about the business. Here you have to really produce. You have to really drive growth for your company so you can raise funding, or you want to sell your technology. Whatever it is, it allows you to do that. And the second one is I want to talk about the program outline of what to expect, because once you know that those are the deliverables, then it becomes easier. And then case studies and really the accelerator investment and benefits and open Q&A. Sounds good, everybody? Perfect. So going to a little bit about Women in Cloud. It all started with a cup of coffee because I was frustrated as an entrepreneur, and I was like, I can't figure out why I can't really win an enterprise business. There were so many doors that were really, there was a lot of glass ceilings, and getting into the enterprise market to sell cloud solution was extremely hard. So I went back to my friends at Microsoft and say, listen, we have a problem in the enterprise world where the digital transformation is led by cloud. Less than 1% of those opportunities are actually given to women. There's no way we can actually be successful. Can we create is an initiative that allows us to have a force, a representation, and support and infrastructure so we can actually will go. And that was the journey for Women in Cloud. So we said is, we wrote a narrative saying, how about we create $100 million in economic access for female tech founders? And immediately said, that's too small. Let's go over $1 billion, because right now it's over $700 billion is the market in the enterprise, huge market. And 1 billion should be very easy to accomplish. But the goal is if we create that access, we are creating jobs, we are bringing very diverse solutions in the market, and we collectively uplift the society. And by doing $1 billion narrative, we'll have enough women tech founders who will be inspiring the next generation of entrepreneurs. And the investors will come in, advisors will come in, corporations will come in to really drive. So that was Women in Cloud. It's a community-led economic development organization with the audacious goal to generate over $1 billion in net new global economic access for women tech founders by 2030. And it's all done through partnership with corporations, community leaders, and policymakers. When I talk about corporation, it's Fortune 100, Fortune 1000 companies is what I'm talking about. So that allows you to kind of put your narrative is that's the market. Second is we really lead by three things. One, community. We are creating is a network of people through events and programs and online network. So we have the best and the best business development community available that are unlocking access in the enterprise market. So if you have worked with our cohort members, you know is we will do warm introductions for them. The second one is the accelerator itself. It's an immersive readiness programming to win enterprise opportunity and global stage, but really focused on the entrepreneur acceleration. So we have the accelerator, we have a marketplace, and then we also have campaigns to really drive lead generation for you, really customer demand for you. That's the intention. And third is public policy advancement, recommend the policies with the legislators and corporations to unlock procurement vehicles. And now we also have added is an AI mission, which is making sure there is AI ethics in place when you're building AI solutions in the enterprise market. So that's a big vision. So, and you would say, why are we doing this? If you look at closing the gender parity in building tech solution, the first thing is, you have the education and skill building, and there are lots of groups that is all about skill building. Second is community building, tons of groups there. What one was missing in the tech market was the economic development program, which is really focused on access, acceleration and access for women founders, really developing the business leaders in the pipeline for driving economic development. So that's the differentiation, and that is what we are focused on. When you want to really work with the community and build skills, we'll connect you to some of the other organizations. So as we talked about the core pillar, contributing network, our network is unbelievably amazing. They really create access for women entrepreneurs. So if some of you are here from the old cohort, what do you think? Like, do you feel like the people really care about you a lot? I truly believe they do. And second is the entrepreneur acceleration. We talked about the marketplace, the Fortune 100 Lunch and Learn series, and also the Cloud Accelerator. And the policy advancements we are doing is proclamations, research work, and policy. So We did pass is the Women in Cloud proclamation in the state of Washington 3 times in a row. And now we are actually recommending 3 policies. One is the AI policy, which is already in-house right now. There is a data privacy. We have been asked to review that. And the third one is gender equity and diversity, which is focused on making sure that all races, all genders, everybody have inclusive access to programs in the state of Washington. So we are also supporting and reviewing that. Now, coming to the Accelerator, what is it and why are we putting this together, right? First, it is an invitation-based program. It's a 6-month immersive, really designed to co-sell with Microsoft and their entire channel. Microsoft leads 96% of the enterprise market, huge market. They have pretty much every activation of the product in the enterprise. So working with a brand that allows us to win that ecosystem is very helpful. So when you look at Fortune 1000 companies, I would say majority of them has a Microsoft product installation in there. The second, the Accelerator itself, we have the office hours. We are really designed to really work on your deliverables. So a lot of discussion, making sure that if you're stuck in your business model or stuck in your how to acquire the customer, we work together, very immersive, we do that. There's a self-service learning available, so you can learn on your pace. Let's say you didn't understand, but you want to understand, so we have the self-learning. We also have live chat, which is created, which is, we bring in the live industry leaders every month during the 6-month program, and you really can go into the details. Community connections, you get to meet with the community, the advisors, and also the people who are our board of advisors. You can engage with them. Lots of events we create, because one of the things we realized is women tech founders are not on any industry events. And if you're not on those industry events, it's really hard for you to get access to customer. So we develop a lot of those relationships. So one is the Microsoft Inspire. We are working with Accenture, working with Google, just to make sure that WiC has a stage where we can go and have these solutions highlighted. The other thing is also hosted buyer meetings. We do Cloud Exec Connect, where you get to meet with the buyers of potential companies. And we are building our Rolodex together, but we bring in all the buyers and the decision makers and the influencers in the enterprise market who will help you mobilize to your customer as quickly as possible. And the last one is get introduced capability, which is warm introductions to your potential customers, advisors to advance your business. Okay, is it clear for everyone what it is? So why do you really want to participate? First is access. If you need access to advisors, talent pool, like, we have Skillshare here, so we worked with them and they were able, some of the talent was able to be hired by our ecosystem. And if you're looking for hiring somebody, we create that access for you. Resources, credits for software. We already have like a $5,000 value of gifts that from software companies ready to give it to our entrepreneurs and investors. So we are working with investors so you can meet with them and develop those relationships so that when you're ready, you can actually facilitate that investment conversation. Acceleration happens through education, preparation, and also warm introduction. An average deal closing in enterprise is anywhere from 3 months to a year and a half. Some people are lucky, so they do it in 3 months. Some people will take time, 6 months. Some people take a year. But there is a secret sauce of what will it take you to get between 3 to 6 months. And that is what the preparation we are doing, and also having all the agreements in place for you to be achieving that. We have as a contributing community, they lift you up. They are dedicated for you. And we have partnerships with 26 organizations to have a massive network of 100 million women across the world. So we can reach out to different communities that if you need, let's say if you want to go in Africa and do business, we have a network that gets you to Africa very quickly. We had a business in Saskatchewan and they want to do business in Africa. It took less than a week to get to the right people and they knew exactly how to do business in Africa. Same thing in India, same thing in Middle East. So that network allows you to get where you need to. Impact focus, we are extremely focused. You will not waste time on trying to like find the mission and the purpose. No, you have a mission, you have a purpose, you have a solution. Focus is customer wins and collaboration to drive customer wins. If you're not doing that, this is not something for you. If you are interested in creating your revenue pipe really strong and learning how to create your revenue pipe, grow your company to 500%, 1000% growth, then this is the program for you. A lot of focused events which are focused on driving the access to the buyers, access to the enterprise companies is what we focus. Your only commitment is $1,000. So that is the reason, because we want to see if you're serious about it. The rest of the commitment is underwritten by a lot of the enterprise companies for you to be here. This value of this particular program is closer to $10,000 value minimum. That is just what with the credits and access to stuff. But with that commitment, we know that you have committed for your growth, for infinite growth, and also want to have access to stuff. So that's a minimum commitment. No other commitment is there. So that kind of makes sure the program deliverables are taken care of. So in the accelerator, what it is and what it's not, this is very, very important. It's a readiness program, really driven with access in mind for co-sell purposes. We really focus on business acceleration and wins. We help you navigate and we amplify your brand. That's what it is. What we are not a business dev organization. We are not a PR or an investment driven. We will not invest money in your company. We are not a cloud reseller, so we will not sell you any cloud. We will not drive your company to where it needs to. We are not the aviator of your business. And we are not a support group. You sit there and you kind of mull over issues. We don't do it. We really focus on outcome based. And if you need to get to the end goal, we drive actions as fast as you want to go. And also you learn how to really drive asks in the enterprise market. So that's what it is. Does that help for everybody what it is and what it's not? Just tell me in the chat. So I want to get a reaction from all of you. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So some of the things that has happened over, and you can read this, we will definitely, kind of share the content. Like for our first graduate from the cohort number 1, they have seen a 44% growth year over year. They are positioned as the leaders in the retail transformation. And they also closed a Series A, I think Series B funding, Series A funding. They did that one. We have Go Resume Free. They just graduated in the 3rd cohort. They have seen is like 400% growth. And it's just, they still have 5 months to go to complete the year. And they're actually servicing in 6 countries. And they started with 1 country. Now they are also in all the marketplaces. So they have is a brand visibility in the market. Going to the next one, we have from the first cohort, which is Mercer McKay Storytelling. They saw a significant growth. I would say one of the top-notch growth. And they actually doubled their sales revenues. They have increased the number of people. Now they have 60 people working in their company. This happened in 2 years. They just knew what the formula is. They just applied it and then they just grew. And they partner with a lot of the women-led companies to be successful in Canada. So this one is one. And we have AG Tools. And I would love, Martha, raise your hand. I would love for you to be here because she has grown her company significantly. It's pretty spectacular. Raise the next slide.
I raised my hand. Here's my hand.
Yeah, so Martha, I want you to talk about your own growth, what you have seen.
Well, when I started, I thought it was like a magic place where we'll have clients overnight. And I learned through the process that it was more about changing the mentality of myself than the customer base, because I couldn't have taken any customers at the beginning. Now I know that. Okay. But then it's like customer, customer, customer. But it was changing that mentality and making me feel like so comfortable that I understood what I knew, but I needed to put all those blocks of knowledge that you have given us. Some of those spreadsheets that are worth $1 million, and literally they're worth $1 million, and putting all those blocks together, and now feeling so comfortable talking in front of investors, and then being able to talk even with large customers, because large customers are like investors. They're expecting a lot from you, and you wonder whether you can deliver. So it's more of a transformation of your brain than a incoming of either investment or customers.
But did you see like a significant growth for the company as you changed your mindset?
Oh, 100%, because we started where we were selling to farmers and smaller customers, and all of a sudden like, oh, well, we can actually sell to large customers. So we have now the largest customers in the world of the commodities, and the fundraising. That was the other thing that we could stood in front and feel comfortable, because the program has allowed us to say we won $1.4 million or $1.8 million. And even today that we're going into the 10 million fundraise, I am so comfortable because we have the enterprise program, and the investors look at that as that's the growth. Going 1, 2, 3 customers is not going to do it. It's going to be an enterprise thinking. So 100%. I mean, we went from a couple $100,000, and now we're going to be over $1.5 million in sales and investment, obviously, right?
Yep, absolutely. So tell me, Martha, what was the best part of the program that you really enjoyed, and things that you really felt it was painful that you had to really work really hard at?
The truth is the professor. She is tough and mean, but amazing. We all remember a lot of teachers, but the one that we always remember is the one that is the toughest and the meanest, because they're the ones who make us the best. And I don't know all of you, but I have. And my toughest teachers were the best ones. Chandra, you're a tough move, get going. This is what you have to do. And you're like catching breath. But as you go with it, it's like, oh, I get what she's doing, because the reality is that this world is not waiting for us. We have to jump on it. And so you're the toughest teacher I had in many, many, many years. And I call you teacher. But on the other hand, is the one who has pushed me to where we are today. So that's, if you say the good and the bad.
Because I know is what your potential is, Martha. Because the thing that I know is each and every entrepreneur who has shown like, I want to do something, you're operating in a multi-billion-dollar opportunity market. So if you say it's like winning a $5,000 contract or something gets you, I'm like, no, we have a multi-billion-dollar opportunity, and you can be the next unicorn company if you believe in yourself. And it just takes is the right offers in place that you have to pull together.
The other part that you taught us is this a proof of concept, that the tendency of us in being a smaller company or starting our companies is that you tend to give away yourself. And you said, no, proof of concept has to be paid unless it's, I don't know, some unusual thing. And we actually charge our proof of concepts, and we've made money. If nothing else, we pay our expenses. But obviously, we're growing the business. But that was the first time saying that, because I remember seeing in your graphic point of POC how much money. I'm like, oh, so you charge for that. And I remember trying to say the first time, I'm charging for a POC, and like, today when we had a conversation with the largest banking company in the world, and like, yeah, okay, well, we'll figure out where we get the budget from. And like, oh, okay. So that was another interesting point that we tend to, because we want the opportunity to give ourselves away a little bit too much, but you teaching us this process help us bring in not only the income, but also the growth inside the corporation.
Exactly. And also, Martha, like I want everybody to know is what you see on the boxes on a paper, you actually have to walk that process. And some of you, like as women, I'll tell you is when we get a process, like let's say we have to go buy things from a grocery store, we forget that we have to just buy that list. We will wander around the whole thing, and we forget about our true actions we have to take. but this program has a very clear action that you have to take. So Martha, you have done fantastic work. So thank you for being here and helping other entrepreneurs kind of have the answers to some of the questions.
Thank you. And I'm here for many of you, hopefully, that will join. We need many of you here. And the other side, right, it's important is the help among ourselves has been also really a good thing. It's an ecosystem that it really helps. We help each other very much.
Perfect. So thank you.
Thank you.
You can mic off and camera off, and I will call you, Martha, if we need it. So that's just the visibility for you to really understand. So when you get through this transformation, your identity as a technology provider will change more into a cloud solution provider or a cloud solution partner. That's what your business is. Your revenue model will move into a recurring revenue model because your software becomes the core activation for the digital transformation. That's what you will see. You will network, you will create yourself, but here you have access to the industry experts and talent, so you can move really fast. Resources, you will seek yourself if you're in current state, but here there are best practices and experts who are accessible, and you also can learn from the other cohort members what they did. The GTM assets, which is where most of the entrepreneurs, they pay for themselves anywhere from $10 to $20 to $100,000. Here, actually, the Microsoft go-to-market assets are available for you, along with the enablement desk, which allows you to build your co-sell ready status in the Microsoft ecosystem. In the current state that you're in, your partnership with the cloud vendors like Microsoft, Google, IBMs of the world is very light. I don't think you will even be thinking about it, but in this particular transformation, you will be a very strong partner. They will be promoting you instead of asking them to promote you. They will be amplifying your work, and you will be recognized as a leader and ambassador of driving economic access and change in the tech industry. So that's what it would look like. From a program outline and what to expect, there are a few things I want to kind of talk about. Is there are a lot of gives and gets that happens, but the minimum is like the $1,000 commitment. And one of the question in the chat was, do I have to pay right away or do I have to pay after the program? No, you have to put in your commitment right when you are signing the agreement. And that way we know that you're committed for 6 months. You do get is the credits. We give free tickets for the Women in Cloud events, other events. That will automatically will give you a $1,000 value. We'll return it back in a different way, but you will have the 1 to 10x value right away because we will bring in the Azure credits. There are business advisory. You have complimentary tickets. You have introductions. All those things, if you added up the value, you will get that back right away. You have to win at least one B2B customer within the first 6 months with a minimum contract value of $10,000. That is something we want you to do it. There's no accelerator which actually asks you to close customer with that value, but we really want, because if you do once, then when the gates open and when other customers are coming in, then you know exactly how to engage a conversation. So it's very important. You will publish your solution in the Microsoft Commercial Marketplace along with the Women in Cloud Marketplace. We ask you to present at 1 to 3 industry stages. Women in Cloud is also an industry stage. We will automatically give you that platform, but we also will get you into different platforms. So we build your profile in the market. And you basically build a case study, which is a customer case study that allows to kind of attract more customers. So that's the intention. With regards to the journey map that you have, you will start with, oh, I want to build my cloud business. You really are going to building an enterprise-ready cloud business. So you start with an assessment. There's a lot of work on the business strategy work. We work on the cloud solution identification, selection, and management of how that looks like when it's deployed. How do you package that into a compelling offer? How do you go to market? And then how do you provide the customer support? All those pieces have to come together for you to become an enterprise-ready company. The deliverables that you do is few things. There are 7 of them. You build your cloud solution narrative. It's really a one-pager, but it takes you 6 months to develop it because you will not be able to settle on that. You will go back and forth as you talk to your customer. Then you do is cloud business modeling. You build your cloud business model for an enterprise. We identify 5 customers that you are going to drive acquisition, and we will plan it, like literally plan your customer acquisition, help you get your company become a Microsoft co-sale ready partner. You will publish your solution on WiC and Microsoft Solution Marketplace. You build your demo environments, your trial and pilot offers, and then you pilot and your recurring revenue wins. That's what you do. Those are your deliverables that you will be working on over the 6 months. Any questions here? Any questions? Is it clear? So a couple of things that was asked is, do I have to have a SaaS solution? Yes, you do need to have a SaaS solution to really have the fantastic outcomes from the Women in Cloud Accelerator. If you don't have a SaaS solution or a service solution, it becomes a little bit harder because you don't know how to even do an enterprise contract. You need to have some solution. If you have a solution that can help you do a recurring revenue model, then it is the right thing. Or you have a B2C model, but you're trying to pivot to B2B model. Absolutely, we will work with you to help you pivot in a scenario and show you what that opportunity looks like. And since you're going in a specific industry, then we can tell you, okay, here are some ways you need to pivot. But it's going to be a little bit tough because you are going against your team because they all want to do B2C, but you want to go B2B. So you have to deal with those conflicts. You have to you have to bring the entire team to pivot with you. And then if you have customers in that market, then you have to really figure out how do you pivot. And those are the scenarios you'll work on. With regards to that, I'm a business owner, but I don't have a CTO. You really don't need a CTO if you have a technology company supporting your solution. You may partner with another company, they are building your solution, they have the CTO, or you can get your part-time CTO if you really need. So having a CTO is not a need per se. And the third one is technical skills. Do you need technical skill? Absolutely. If you're driving digital transformation conversation, you need to at least have some technology knowledge to really sell the software in the enterprise market. So for example, they'll say APIs is a language, right? That we can integrate software between your software and our software through API. That's a technology language. Do you need to code? No, you don't need to code. In this program, there's no requirement for you to code. Okay, so that is what is, it does help because these were some questions that were asked at my table. So as you're thinking about the fit is you need to at least have a 1 year in business. You have already worked with a customer that you know how to have conversation with a customer. You need to have a solution that is at least done so we can see a demo of your software and maybe a pilot done with a customer. That is what will give you the highest success. We are not skilling companies on how to do business and like how to build a tech business. That is not us. We are not focused on. This is an acceleration program, and if you're ready for acceleration, this is where the program is ready for you. Okay. Do you accept payment and installation? No, Simni, this one is something we want you to commit right away. Since you're a Canadian company, I can get you connected to a Canadian consulate and they may be able to underwrite your fees. They did write for last year. They did write for like 6 or 8 companies where underwrote the payments for them. So you should talk to them about it. Can export can help also. In the application for, is it required to give business contact and tech contact, or would it be the same part? You can have the same contact. Like, for example, I have a technology background, so I can use my name as a tech contact, but having a biz and a tech contact allows you just in case if you have to talk to your tech person, but at the end of the day, Sonal, you are going to bring the team to have a discussion with whoever you're making. I'm making the CEOs or the women leaders accountable for driving their business. We will not be driving your business. You will be driving, but if there is a technical contact, makes it easier. So with regards to the Accelerator, you have the office hours. It happens twice a month on Thursdays from 8 to 9 a.m. PST. That accounts for every region across the world. It's a deep working session. And if there is any trouble in making a particular item, we join as a group, and then, or I will do one-on-one session to really make sure that your business model is looking good and you are good to go. With regards to the live chats with the industry leaders, once a month on Tuesdays from 9 to 10 a.m., you will be talking about co-selling with Microsoft, building solutions from enterprise, securing funding for enterprise opportunity, identifying and winning enterprise opportunities as a Microsoft partner, build and execute your go-to-market with Microsoft, and engaging with corporate procurement. Those are the specific topics. These experts will come talk to you, and then they become part of your network, actually, because they open up their Rolodex to have a discussion with you. If we are a services company, would we qualify for the cohort? So no. This was
Okay, so I think that Chaitra is frozen. Her signal has, she's probably having a little bit of technical difficulties there. So while we give her a couple minutes to join us, she was starting to say in response to Sonal's question that Sonal's question was, if we are a solutions and services company, would we qualify for the cohort? And she started to say no. So she's just joining back in just a sec, refreshing. But as we wait for her to join, I'll touch a bit on the self-learning syllabus portion of the course. So as we've had to evolve the cohorts and the Cloud Accelerator to being fully digital, we do have a self-learning syllabus with lots of courses and mini lessons available within a private course that's available on the WiC Digital Network. So once you are at the point where you've been accepted, you've made your payment, signed the agreement, and you attend the immersive kickoff session, which would be on February 26th, that's when you would get access to the digital course. And Chaitra, are you back with us?
Yes. Good. Keep going, Raisa. Keep talking through it, and then I'll jump.
Yeah, so I was just saying that once you will get access to the digital course once you complete the following steps, right? So once you're accepted, and I think some of you are on the call today that have already received that have received an acceptance communication, then you'll receive an entrepreneur agreement, which outlines the gives and gets that we shared earlier in the meeting, and you'll receive your invoice. And then once you do that and attend the immersive kickoff session, which is quite lengthy, but it's a lot of great content to get us started. It's going to be on February 26th from 10 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Pacific. And following that, you will have access to the Digital Cloud Accelerator private course for you and one other leader from your company to participate in that course with you. So Chaitra, I'll hand it back over to you to finish responding to Sonal's question.
Sure. So Sonal, thanks for asking that question. And I'm sorry, the network went down. So with regards to if you have a services company, can you qualify for a cohort? So there are a few types of service company I want you to think about. If you are a system integrator, and if you are integrating different solutions to create, different, I would say, cloud products to really create a solution, you do qualify because you know how to configure solution, you need to know how to stitch solution and how to deploy. You do qualify. What we do not qualify is if you are a event agency company, you do not qualify. If you are, doing marketing services, you don't qualify. You need to have is a solution that you can deploy in the enterprise, and the enterprise is ready to pay for it. So, for example, if you take Microsoft 365 and then you want to deploy a team service, but there is a secret sauce that is on top of the teams that you're doing for driving the productivity of for the customer, well, maybe a dashboard that you configure, or maybe a Power BI app. That is something definitely you qualify. Did I answer your question? Perfect. Okay, so Rachel, you have a question with regards to the digital platform. Will we still have industry leaders to work with us directly? Yes. So if you go to womenincloud.com/get-introduced or get-introduced, that allows you to find the people you want to connect with. For the cohort members, they have immediate access or highest priority access into meeting with the potential customers and I would say influencers in the market. And that allows us to kind of constantly get you introduced to the people. The more clear the ask is, the faster you do. The cohort members get the highest access into all the industry events. We believe that the more you have access, the faster your company will grow. And that's the mindset that we work in. And we want to make sure entrepreneurs like you and business founders like you would really need is people access as quickly as possible or resources to build your company. So that's what it is. And Raisa, do you want to come and talk about the whole programming that is available within the community so people know how this is led?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Chai. So we touched a little bit on the when you get access to the digital course, right? Again, this is a private course. You'll be able to connect with other entrepreneurs that are within your current cohort. There'll be an activity feed, an events board. You have the capability to chat with each other. You can share successes, questions, and this is a hub of information that's all related to your specific cohort that you would be participating in. So it's a really valuable tool, and we post all of the recordings from each session there for the live chats and office hours, so that you can refer back to them if there's ever anything you want to use to refresh your memory, or and we have resources readily available within that the digital network as well. So for the we are launching the WiC Fortune 100 Lunch and Learn series as well. So so that is something that we will be doing with some leaders that are partnering with us. It's really a networking experience that is designed to open doors for Fortune 100 companies and brands to connect with technology business leaders like yourselves. It's an invitation-only experience, and people will get access to decision makers, procurement officers, some brands that are going to be participating in it. This will be once a month lunchtime sort of experience with programming, and then we'll have some networking at the end of it. And Chai, would you like to add any additional remarks on the WiC Fortune 100 series that's coming out?
Sure. This one, I think, as a cohort number 5, I think you should say you're the most fortunate group, because the other cohort members have done such a great feedback to evolve this programming. And one of the innovation from the 2020 cohort members was, how can we get into the Fortune 1000 companies, and can we do is a deliberate programming, right? And so what we did was we looked at all the Fortune 1000 companies. We have a list of 500 right now identified, and then we'll get to the top 100. But right now we have like 12 of them in the whole for this whole year. We are pretty good. So what we are really doing is, some of the companies, when we looked at which are their customers, we want to make sure that you can get to that customers easily. Some of them happens when you know Accenture has all the enterprise companies, so they can take you with them, but they need to know you more. So that's why the Lunch and Learn series is to really build your relationship building experience. So you have to build that relationship, and that allows you to get you to where you want to. So I'm really thankful to the entire cohort 3 and 4 for making this possible. There were a couple of things that also happens when the cohort finishes. And I think, Martha can say after the 6th month, you really start to feel the separation anxiety from the women in cloud. So here is the one, you don't need to worry about that. What we have is we actually keep the relationship with you for 3 years, which is to make sure that you have all the resources and anything that you need, we support you through the next 3 years. And after that, if you still want to keep in touch, absolutely you should keep in touch, because by that time you probably are closer to a multi-million-dollar company. You may won't have time, but that's okay. You will come in and engage with us. But that relationship is there. And I want all of you to have a vision. Like, let's say 5 to 8 years from now, we are at standing with the UN folks, with the United Nations at the General Assembly, and all the 1,000 entrepreneurs who have gone through this program, through the Women in Cloud. We say we actually created $1 billion in economic access together. We did it. And this is the crowd which made economic access possible in the tech industry. And I want you to be that entrepreneur part of that tribe. And that's the vision I want to hold and say, this is the community that led and changed the world and really created access for the next generation to build tech business. And women are in the leading seat. And if you are part of that, then absolutely you should be involved in this programming. So as you go through the accelerator, there are some expectations that you need to have, like the do's and don'ts, is do set reachable goals so that you feel really good. People come in and say, I want to do like $5 million business. Well, it takes time to get to a $5 million business in an enterprise. It's usually 2 to 3 years before you actually do it, unless until you have a great relationship, you have a great solution, and the whole entire CEO and the entire company is saying, this is the vision I want to go after. For example, Microsoft did a carbon neutral initiative, and it came out of the board, and they invested over $100 million into that programming. So that happened. So those are the kind of things, if you're part of that programming, it makes it good. We also have is like communication standards, and do make yourself presentable so you are present. What you bring to the table is what you get. So my philosophy is, if you bring a spoon of attention or spoon of giving to others, you'll only get a spoon of things. Or if you bring a bucket of things and you bring to the party, you'll get a bucket of things. If you get a truck, you'll get a truck. So choose your instrumentation of how you show up in anything. That is what will get you. What you give is what you get. Please accept the gracious, constructive feedback and make your advisor your asset. And don't take the accelerator lightly. You'll say, yeah, I'll show up, I'll do this. It's not one of that. If you miss one session, you miss one deliverable, you will be delayed in your growth. And don't sell vendor services to Microsoft advisors, and don't flood people with inbox. Because it's urgent for you doesn't mean the Women in Cloud is ready to jump in and do it. It's just a very much a healthy relationship that we have with this program. So with that, that's what I had is for all of you. Hopefully I answered all your questions. Did I answer all your questions? And if you have any question, raise your hand and Riza will bring in. We have 2 more minutes, and probably another 10 minutes we can have Q&A. So first is, how many of you are going to consider moving forward on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being, yes, I am ready, I'm signing the paperwork and ready to go for the cohort? Then perfect. Sophia, you're in. Cheryl, 9.5. Tell me, what will it take for 0.5 for you to convert? I want to know that. Ali, welcome. Others, where are you? What are you thinking about? Okay, any questions? Hi, Cheryl.
So for point five, I'm gonna be very honest and transparent. As a founder who doesn't have a business background, I've really been struggling with accounting principles and understanding forecasting. And so I'm wondering if Women in Cloud offers those kind of services to help founders like me who may be struggling with those things.
So with regards to forecasting, you will do the forecasting of what the opportunity would look like and how do you need to plan for that opportunity in the enterprise market. For example, let's say you want to win Walmart as a customer. And well, it requires you a lot of things. You need insurance, you need a talent pool, you need technology. We will tell you what those costs would look like as part of your business modeling. Then you can say, okay, if I have to remove some cost, we'll give you optimization plans, what you can optimize, right? And then it will allow you to get to your line item of what will it take to kind of build that blueprint over and over with other customers. So is if I go into this particular customer, my profitability is 2%. But if I go with the same solution in other customer, my profitability is 10%. Because some enterprise will suck more than what you can give, and some enterprise are very reasonable. So it really depends upon having that blueprint to work with.
Okay, well, that takes care of my point five. That's what I needed to know. Thank you.
Okay, yes, then you're good. Then you are totally good. Any other questions that you have? Raise your hand. I'll get you on the stage. And don't be shy. Like, ask questions. That's the fastest way to get to your dream goals and your dream outcomes. Okay, so last question. Did I answer all your questions before we can go back to the lounge and I can come and say hello to all of you?
Chai, so I did see a question from Yasmin, and Yasmin, I sent you a pop-up. So if you want to come on stage and ask your question. So Yasmin was concerned. She's just still not sure if she qualifies.
So Yasmin, at this moment, with the current business model, you do not qualify. That's the answer. Unless until you say is, Chaitra, I have a training business and my training business needs to be implemented at this customer in this format. And that brings me a predictable business model. That's when I would say, yep, you are ready and you can actually start to pivot your business. But the way it is today, it'll be hard. It'll be hard for you to pivot. So there's a lot of work you need to do on that.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
But if you want a one-on-one time, let me know. I can sit down and kind of look at what kind of tweaks and changes you need to do. Then you will be ready for the accelerator.
Yeah, I think I'd want to, because I do have some other ideas. Maybe a one-on-one would be great.
Perfect. We'll take care of that one. Okay, so with that, I think my business is still premature for this, but it sounds like it'll be a perfect fit for 6 months or so. So Jennifer, based on what we talked, I think you are a little bit more closer to what you think. So I will talk to you in the lounge, and maybe you may be ready for this one. So remember, we are more self-critical about ourselves than someone else does. But based on the conversation and your application, you're a little bit closer to being ready this time. Okay, so with that, let's get to the lounge, and I will come and meet with all of you, and Riza will be there. You can ask any questions that you need. Again, thank you for taking time and being with us today.